Something about Friday morning, Kat, makes me feel nostalgic for the 90s.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever we do a 90s focused segment, it's always on like a Friday morning.
It seems like it, yeah.
And you've got a doozy up your sleeve right now. Where is this from?
It's from Bustle.
Okay.
And it's things all 90s kids have forgotten about until now.
All right, let's talk about it, Kat. What have you got?
All right, well, we're going to start with moon shoes. Do you remember moon shoes?
I'm laughing because I have like an inside joke with friends of mine about moon shoes, but go ahead and describe them and then I'll tell you my story.
They're kind of like little baby trampolines that you strap to your feet, and kind of dangerous and kind of frivolous and completely 90s.
Yes, they're like little trampolines that you strap to your feet. Maybe people remember them. If you don't remember them, Google image search what moon shoes are. Mm-hmm. My last radio job was in Montana, if you remember.
Yeah.
And when I left the radio station, I left on good terms, and they were looking for their new night guy or whatever, the new night DJ. And someone had applied for the job and put her resume and demo tape inside of a box of moon shoes.
Really?
The reason she did that, and I can't remember what her name was, but she wrote on the box, whatever her name was, ... will go to the moon for your listeners.
Kind of brilliant.
No, you should have heard the tape. You should have heard the tape.
Okay.
So that's why I'm laughing at
But
moon
it at
shoes.
least got her tape and her resume noticed, so they were actually looked at instead of being shuffled through and just tossed to the side.
Well, we listened to all of them, but yeah, that was her tactic.
Well,
Most of her brilliance went into the moon shoes box and not into the tape. I can also tell you that my sister had a pair of moon shoes, and they were a lot of fun.
okay. How about light up yo-yos?
Yeah, I remember those too.
You were no one if you didn't have a light up yo-yo that you swung around incessantly all day long.
I had the light up yo-yo, but I also had a thing called, do you remember yo-yo ball?
Yes.
Yo-yo ball was my favorite kind of yo-yo because you didn't have to worry about pulling it back. It would just come back automatically. So you didn't need any skill. You could just throw the ball down. It would come back up. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Things that don't involve skill like I liked.
You wanted me to skip this one, but I think this one's worth mentioning.
Okay,
I gotta
sure.
tell you, the platform Skechers.
Okay.
They're the platform tennis shoes, sneakers.
Those high risen ones?
They were, yeah, they weren't like they were heeled. They were, the whole thing was like 3 inches of shoe underneath of your foot.
They did look goofy.
They did, and oftentimes they were glittery.
Yeah, the weird kids in school had those.
They were horrible if you were playing any kind of game in PE or recess. You were definitely likely to twist your ankle and
Right.
sprain your knee and any other kind of damage that you could do from wearing a ridiculously awful pair of shoes that some reason were fashionable.
It was like normal Skechers, but on stilts.
Yeah, exactly. Do you remember the paper fortune tellers?
They
look like little, you do this with them?
Yeah, you put your hands in them and you kind of like, you have words on them.
Yeah.
And everyone in the world knew how to make those things except for me.
I could still make one.
I
could make you one right now.
I could never. If you want to, go right ahead.
Because you should.
If you want to make one, we can do it for the next segment. If you want to make one, I'll answer all the questions.
Okay. Well, they weren't questions so much as they were fortunes.
Like,
yeah.
But you had to pick. You had to pick one, right?
Yeah. You count. Give me a number, and then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you would have to pick one of the things that were displayed.
Like I said, if you want to make one, we can dedicate the next segment to actually doing it.
Oh, good grief! All right.
It's up to you.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
How about?
The brilliance of this show.
How about Milky pens or Jelly Roll pens? The different colors, and they were really great because if you remember, you could buy notebooks with black paper in them just for your super bright colored jelly pens. Those
were very 90s, and those were around.
I loved my jelly pens. I'm not even gonna lie.
I was never into like art stuff, so I didn't have those, but I remember seeing them around all over the place.
They weren't about art. They were about passing notes to your BFF in the hallway. Or in the middle of class, and you would write them out in different colors, and you would, certain words were written in certain colors, and it was a thing.
That wasn't a guy thing.
No, it wasn't a guy thing. This one probably wasn't a guy thing either, But your dream phone, do you remember your dream phone?
I do remember Dream Phone. And Dream Phone looked like so much fun to me, but I couldn't ask for it because I was a boy.
Yeah. The goal was to find out which fictional guy had a crush on you.
I always thought it was James.
It was kind of like Clue mixed with all your favorite soap operas. Kind of suspenseful.
The commercial made it look like so much fun, but like I couldn't tell my guys guess what I got for my birthday. Dream Phone.
Yeah, we're having a sleepover. Do you want to play?
Guys, I really think that Justin's into me. Let's find out.
How about Light Brights? Do you remember
everyone
those?
had Light Bright.
Yes.
Definitely had Light Bright.
Because coloring on paper was so,
1970s,
second grade.
yeah.
It's so 1984. Now you've got glow in the dark anything because you can light it up and yes.
And you could put the paper on it and it would tell you where to put all the colors.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember creepy crawlers?
Definitely.
Making your own insects with goo?
Yeah, it came with like this goo, and then it came with like almost like a little oven. Mm-hmm. And it was like an easy bake oven, but for guys.
Yeah.
And you could put them inside these little, almost like cookie cutter things, and you would put it in the oven, and all of a sudden you had yourself a little scorpion.
Yeah, they were like little molds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember those totally.
Do you remember inflatable furniture? Inflatable chairs, inflatable sofas. I definitely remember these.
You didn't really have any, but yeah, I mean, they existed.
It was the anti-furniture furniture.
Yeah, for when you need to pop your furniture, this is a great option for you.
It's like swinging chairs from the ceiling or giant bean bags or the inflatable chairs that came in bright colors and yeah.
I was probably a little too fat for inflatable furniture.
Well, and you were, say, 1995. How old were you?
95, I was 12.
Okay, yeah. Rice Krispie Treats cereal. Do you remember these? Not Rice Krispies, but Rice Krispie Treats.
Well, yeah, but those are still around. You can still buy those.
Well, that doesn't make them a good idea, and they came out in the 90s.
I can think they were a great cereal, if you want my honest opinion.
Lots of cornstarch coated in marshmallow.
Again, that sounds brilliant to me.
Well, speaking of things to eat from the 90s, how about the Butterfinger BBs? Particularly the ones with Bart Simpson advertising the heck out of them.
Well, the Simpsons would advertise the Butterfinger stuff like crazy.
Yeah.
I think they still do, and I think Butterfinger BBs might still be around.
No way, man. Yeah.
Eat my shorts.
Eat my shorts. How about, do you remember Coppertone Kids Color Block?
This is one I did not remember, to be honest with you.
Well, it was meant to work like reverse psychology because, you as a kid, you don't want sunscreen. You're like, no, mom, no. But the commercials showed the kids like colors.
Yeah.
Like purple, head to toe purple.
They're covered in purple.
Their skin is purple. And you're super excited because, well, I don't want to wear sunscreen, but it'd be cool if my skin was purple when you're, 9. And but it didn't actually turn your skin different colors. And it was pretty much just translucent and blended right in right away.
Do you remember that?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember electronic dictionaries? When those were a thing, that was kind of a big deal. It looked a whole lot like my first text phone.
Yeah, I do. I kind of remember those.
Casio made them. There were several brands that made them, and you could whip out your electronic dictionary and look up a word that you didn't know.
For when you're on the school bus and need to know what a word means.
Right. And then the last one was the Tiger Electronic handheld games. Do you remember these little LCD screens? It was like a video game, but much, much lamer.
Are the games that ruined my childhood.
Like, these were the kind of things that, I think Santa left a lot of these in stockings.
They were almost always licensed products, like based on a movie or a TV show.
An animated show or something.
I think there's over 90 different Tiger Electronics games. And they were like video games, only completely inoperable. So people knew I loved video games when I was a kid and still do. So yeah, like relatives would get me one of these for like Christmas or something. Mm-hmm. And like anytime you saw that tiger symbol on the game, you knew it was going to suck.
Yeah.
It was awful. You probably didn't have to deal with this that much because you were a girl and you weren't into video games. Oh my gosh. And you could have like 30. I had like 30 of these things. None of them were fun. They were awful.
If you guys had pooled your money, you could have gotten me a really awesome video game.
Yeah, instead of getting me 3 of these, get me a real game, please. I'm begging you. I remember those things very well, and I think any guy my age definitely does.